Hey everybody, it's Joe from greenlightsound.com, and today we're going to take a look at a cool little plugin from Voxengo, the TEQ-421 3-band EQ, and it's free, which is awesome. It's part of Voxengo's suite of free plugins, which are really good. I highly recommend you check them out. And it's basically a 3-band fixed frequency plugin with some added harmonics kind of borrowed from the Harmonics plugin, also in Voxengo's line. Some general things that apply to all Voxengo plugins. First of all, there is oversampling available, which is really nice. You have options to resize the plugin, change the color scheme, even go in and do like custom color schemes if you want. Now, it doesn't say exactly what the 3 fixed EQ bands are, so we're going to jump over to Plugin Doctor and see what's going on with this plugin. So I'm going to boost up the low band first. And what we see is we're getting sort of this kind of resonant bump and dip, Pultec-ish shelf here. And it looks like the shelf is centered somewhere around 120 hertz or so, boosting below that in the high 70s, and the little dip here is around 200. If I cut instead of boost, I get a slightly different shape, but still centered around that frequency down there. So this is going to be really good for building up the low end in a mix. Let me get this back to 0. The mid-band, let's see what's going on with this mid-band. I'll boost it up a bunch. The center frequency looks to be around 700 hertz or so. You notice when you boost the mid-band, the frequency areas around it are also cut a little bit. And if I cut the mid-band, kind of a similar shape, but it boosts those up a bit. This is a really good band to cut, actually, having that 700 hertz frequency. And I'm going to guess the high end's a shelf. Let's find out. It is. Similar to that low shelf with those kind of resonant dips and peaks, not quite as much. This one seems around 5K or so, with the peaks around 7K and that little resonant dip around 3K. So really broad top-end shelf. Now if we jump over to the harmonic analysis, we can see all those added harmonics in there that add some sort of saturation and presence to it. I'm going to bring that input frequency down a bit so we can see that all those overtones happening. So of course, if we push this input frequency up and we start hitting Nyquist, we bounce back and get that aliasing, but we can of course reduce that with the oversampling in this plugin, which is awesome to have built in there. Especially with any plugin that creates harmonics, it's great to have oversampling as an option. So we've got 3 basic EQ bands and some saturation. So let's hear how it sounds. I'm going to jump into a mix here that has no processing on it at all yet, other than some auto align. That's it. So no compression, no EQ, no anything. And I'm going to try to use TEQ-421 on some drums here to kind of carve out some tones. We're going to start with kick drum first. I'll bypass it off. So that kick drum obviously needs a lot more help than just this, but it's kind of a good basic shape to start with. Let's add in the snare drum. I'll bypass it on and off as it plays. Okay, let's add the toms in next. I'll jump to a part where the toms actually play. Now I'll bypass all 3 instances of the plugin as it plays. So just a great way to get some basic EQ shapes going in a mix. This would also be really great on buses to add that little bit of saturation with some really broad EQ moves here. So you can't beat it for the price. TEQ-421 from Voxengo, a basic 3-band EQ for shaping your mixes with minimal controls. I'll leave a link down in the description so you can pick this one up on your own. If you have any questions or comments, let me know in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already, so we can keep you in the loop as to what's coming up next, and I'll see you in the next one.